if you're a woman who's building something, whether it's a business, a purpose-led project, or a brand, but you're feeling like burned out and exhausted and like you want to quit, then this is for you, because today we're going to be talking about how you can integrate masculine strategy and structure with the feminine flow to create everything it is that you desire in business. And by the way, if you're a newbie to this conversation and you're thinking, man, I would like to make some money on the side, my husband's a really good provider, I would like to make some money, this is for you as well. Or maybe you're thinking about starting a business, don't worry, this is for you too. And if you're in that camp, oh man, you're going to avoid a lot of problems that those of us who did not know about this conversation 15 years ago had. You're going to be able to avoid it when you listen to this. And make sure to stick around all the way through, because I'm going to be sharing about my absolute favorite strategy to get business and money and opportunity coming to me, so I don't have to go out and chase it by combining these two frequencies. Welcome to Mindful Success Path. On this channel, we talk all about how you can manifest what you desire in life without all the extra stress, chaos, and drama that most people are accustomed to. So if that's something that you're interested in, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss a single video we have coming out on this channel. We talk about feminine energy dynamics. We talk about masculine energy dynamics. We'll talk about both of them today. We've been talking about polarity in relationships, how to manifest money, you name it. We're covering all the spiritual woo-woo topics. So if that's something that you're interested in, make sure to subscribe. And you can also check out all our resources below in the description. The one that makes the most sense for this video today is probably my YouTube Mastery Workshop, because YouTube is my favorite tool for combining masculine structure with feminine flow so that money and opportunity come to me. This YouTube channel is bringing in passive income into this household. And our other YouTube channel that my husband and I use for the relocation business, where he helps successful people move and invest in other countries, man, that brings leads and opportunities and media every single freaking day. So that's my absolute favorite tool, is YouTube. So if you're interested in learning YouTube, then I'm going to leave the link for that below, YouTube Mastery Workshop.com, and I'll explain more in this video why YouTube is such a good example of this concept that I'm going to be explaining today. So number one is understanding masculine energy and feminine energy in business and in work. So masculine is the structure, it's the systems, it's the goals, it's the logic, it's the deadlines. I would venture to say it's the technology and the automations that come with it as well. The feminine is more the creativity, intuition, pleasure, receiving, and presence. Now, both are sacred. Both are very much needed in order for a business to work. I've often said you need masculine and feminine to make babies. You also need masculine and feminine to make money. It's not a coincidence. It is creation energy at the end of the day. The problem is that most women have been taught to overly rely on the masculine in order to make money. I was certainly one of those, and I burned out when I was on my way to a 7-figure business and sacrificed everything else in my life for success. I've done other videos on why I did that and why I was programmed to do that. But, I had to snap out of it or else I was going to run myself into an early grave or start having panic attacks again. And the reason why most women are pushed into that, or one of the reasons, is to prove their worth, or because they have to make their own money to be safe, or they don't trust men to take care of them because men are dangerous, so you have to take care of you. That is a conversation that comes up a lot. So when you start experiencing burnout in business and you start feeling very disconnected like I was a few years ago, it usually means that you have an overdrive of that masculine energy that's running the show without feminine nourishment and without feminine principles. Because remember, I said you need both. And what's happening is that most women, or successful women who are making money and burning out in this situation, they're not doing enough of the feminine stuff. Now, there is a flip side to this. And the flip side to this, and I see this more with beginning business owners who are already into this conversation, right, is that they will go too much in the feminine and have like zero structure, right? Which also doesn't work. I've also lived from that place. I've manifested a lot of money doing that, but because there was no structure behind the scenes, it was like money, 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 and chaos, right? So we're trying to avoid that as well. I have lived both extremes, and they both really suck, right? It's when you start bringing them into balance that things feel a lot more nourishing and they feel easier. And my favorite part of it is you have systems working without you and making you money 24/7, whether you're working or not. That is the goal. And in order to get there, you need both the masculine and the feminine. So here's what happens when they're out of balance. And again, I have lived both of these, right? When it's the masculine, it's hustling, it's constant output, it's disconnection, it's lack of joy. Now, you might be seeing this YouTube channel right now and you might be saying, but Amanda, you're getting a video out every day. Isn't that a lot of output? And the answer is no, because I love doing this. So this to me is not tiring. This is my 5th video today and I still have tons of energy for the rest of the day, and I still have tons of time for the rest of the day. It's super fun. Now, the reason is because I have all the masculine structure behind the scenes, right? So I've learned YouTube very well. I understand the SEO and the search engine optimization. Again, YouTubeMasteryWorkshop.com to learn how it works. I love talking about this stuff. And in addition to that, I already have all the structures behind the scenes. So for example, if you buy my YouTube Mastery Workshop, which will be below, you just buy it, it's there, the payment processor is already set up, and you get an email with access to your course. That's it. It's all automated, it's all done, right? Anything else that you sign up for, like maybe you sign up for the feminine energy guide, well, that's all automated too. So then I'll have all the time in the world to do the creative part of it, and I will loop back around to what I just said in a second, right? If you're picking up what I'm putting down, then you understand how I just combined both masculine and feminine in the example I just gave, right? The other thing is if you have too much feminine. So if you have too much feminine, it's like flowing without action. There's no direction, there's no strategy. So 15 years ago when I was just getting started in business, I had a lot of creative energy, but I didn't understand search engine optimization. I didn't understand how any of this stuff worked. So that's when it felt like constant output and no result, is when I didn't have like strategy to guide where I'm going. Right? Now, there is a space for this in terms of divine inspiration that you can use, and that's a part of it. That's a part of the feminine, but even still, I would have divine inspiration, but because I didn't understand the structure of content and how to get it out there, or I didn't have the structures behind the scenes backing me up in order, for example, to collect payments, right? Automatically, then I would end up running into problems. So you see what I'm saying on how you need both. On the one hand, you need the masculine structures to have the strategy, to have the direction, to know where you're going, right? It's like having an arrow and you pull it back and the arrow has a target. You need that. You need to know where you're going. And in addition to that, behind the scenes, it might look like the technological structures to have more things automated. We live in this incredible time where we can do this, where you can literally make YouTube videos and get passive income and automated sales from digital products. I've already seen it from this channel. On our other channel for the relocation business, we have clients sending in applications almost every single day to work with my husband on helping them move and invest in other countries. So, and on top of that, he also gets opportunities to be on podcasts. He gets opportunities for business partnerships, and they're all coming to him, right? Right? That's why YouTube is my favorite, absolute favorite in terms of getting this done. So again, YouTube Mastery Workshop.com. So here are a few ways that you can balance the masculine strategy with the feminine flow. Right? So one of the things that you want to do, and this is for those of you who are specifically like way overboard in the masculine. I could do another video on when you're overboard in the feminine and you're not seeing money coming in. If you would like me to do that, then leave a comment below letting me know. For now, this is for those of you who've gone overboard into the masculine. And for those of you who are starting out, this is what you want to avoid, right? And this will help you avoid that. So number one is you want to start your day with embodiment, not to-do lists, right? So I've said this over and over and over again. There is a constant assault on our nervous systems in today's day and age. So because of that, I don't sleep with my phone. in my bedroom. I haven't in years. And I don't plan on doing it anytime soon because I don't want to look at my phone first thing in the morning. I don't check my email until 9 or 9:30 in the morning, depending on what I've got going on that day. You know, a lot of the stuff, I don't check bank account, I don't check anything until 9 or 9:30 because for me, the most important thing is taking care of myself. So for me, that looks like meditation. I feed the fur babies. I have breakfast with my husband. When I'm making breakfast, I've talked about this in other videos, I'm playing beautiful soft music. We're enjoying the porch. And we're seeing the view outside, and then I go get to work, and then I go check my email, and then I go look at the project management system or whatever I have going on that day. Not before, because when I was living the other way, it was very stressful, and everybody else's to-do list and everybody else's emergencies became my emergency. No, 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 no. Your emergency is not my emergency. I have to take care of me first. And it seems like a very like simple, like almost basic thing to do, but you'd be surprised at how many people don't do it, and then they're walking around with dysregulated nervous systems all the time. And then one of the things that you might want to do is you want to plug into that feminine energy before you start getting into tasks for the day, or you can make it more feminine. So like I said, I'm making breakfast. Okay, I've got soft music playing. Like that's a simple way of doing that. I'm filming videos for this channel today. I've got, you know, candles burning that I like the scent. Stuff like that, right? Or if I'm editing videos, then behind the scenes I'm playing soft music and stuff like that. You know, and I'm doing this today while my husband's downstairs and filming for his channel, right? So again, right, those are some of the ways that you can just add more of that embodiment. The other thing, and this is kind of what I was getting at earlier, is you want to use structure to create more freedom, not less. The problem that a lot of women have with the word structure and discipline, or well, a lot of people actually, not just women, structure and discipline, is the fact that it seems very restrictive. It's kind of similar to when I was a financial educator. That was my first business, like 15 years ago was when I started that. I was a financial blogger. And people would have a problem with the word budget because it seemed too restrictive, but they had no issue with the word spending plan, right? So sometimes those little, or like, don't say emergency fund. They had a problem with the word emergency fund for a savings account, so they would call it an opportunity fund. It's kind of like that, right? So people have an issue with structure because they think it's going to limit them. They have an issue with discipline because they think it's going to limit them, when in reality, the exact opposite is true. So here are some of the ways that you can use structure to create more freedom. So number one, batching, planning, and systems, right? That's a masculine container. What is batching? It means doing the same similar task at the same time. That's literally what I'm doing. It's my 5th video today. If I had to get dressed and put on makeup and film, then I'm going to get through 5 of them in a day, not just one, right? Planning, right? I already have all this stuff planned out for a year, right? Again, with the help of ChatGPT and other AI, and also looking at my analytics and seeing what's working and what's not. Right? So it's not like I'm coming in blind, not knowing what to do in a day. I already know what to do. The plan's already created. I just have to execute on the plan. And then the other thing is systems, right? So shout out to my husband because he's the one who built out all these systems for me. Before I met my husband, I did have automations and systems, but it was a hot mess. I called it systems hell. A lot of business owners are here when they're trying to scale and they just have disjointed systems all over the place. My husband spent a long time before he was in the relocation business helping businesses with their systems behind the scenes. So he actually created all of them for the businesses in our household. So for example, for the relocation business, if somebody finds us on YouTube, there's an application process to work with my husband in the relocation business. There's also like follow-up sales emails, follow-up text messages, all that kind of stuff. So it's all already being done automatically. There's also digital courses and things that we sell from there automatically. Okay, well, he did the exact same thing for me in Mindful Success Path, where you find me on YouTube, you download free stuff, there's automated emails, or you just purchase things directly from the description, right? So that's the systems, right? It's all automated, so we don't have to do these things manually. The problem with the systems is you need an expert, right? I mean, there are tools and things out there that are decent, right? But if you really, really want to do it well, and I married an expert, and I thank God for that every day, right? So that's a part of it, right? The thing you might want to do though here, and this is how you add in the feminine, is you might want to design it around your energetic rhythms, right? So I know, for example, because I do cycle syncing, I am so not going to have the energy to do 5 videos a day in a few days because I'm coming up on my bleed. Not going to have the energy. So I'm doing it now, right? Before that happens, if that makes sense and you catch my drift. And the other thing to keep in mind is when you have all that structure in place, then you are more easily able to be the creative, which is a part of the feminine flow. You're able to do the things that attract people to you and magnetize people to you. I know the more videos I make, the more money I'm going to make. Period. That's how that works. But in order for me to have the freedom and the creativity to do the videos and get them out as often as I want them to, then I need the planning and the systems and the structure behind the scenes backing me up. So do you see how that works? Most people have it backwards. Then that's why they're burned out and they're stressed. And it might mean that you need to spend some more time on systems. It might mean that you need to spend time learning something like YouTube, because YouTube is another great example of this. There's a part of YouTube that is very structured, right? It's analytics. It's knowing how to optimize videos so it shows up in people's search results. And any social media is like this. Like, our relocation Instagram is growing like crazy right now because it's the same. You have to learn the formula, you have to learn the rhythm, you have to learn the analytics, but you have to learn how to combine that with the creative flow and the thing that actually attracts people to you. Because you could have like all the analytics in the world, but if you're not having fun doing what you're doing and you're not being the creative, which is what magnetizes people to you, then it's not going to work. Just like you could be pumping out content all day long, but if there's no strategy and you're not paying attention to the analytics, that's not going to go anywhere either. So that's why you need both. YouTube is a really great way to learn both. Once again, YouTube Mastery workshop.com. And YouTube, by the way, has been our absolute best strategy for passive income that I've ever used. Organic passive income, meaning I have not had to spend $1 on ads on this channel. In previous businesses, in order for me to have passive income, I would need to spend money on ads. In this case, I haven't had to do that. The other thing you want to do is you want to let intuition guide the strategy, right? So you want to set aligned goals, but you want to have space for the divine downloads. I'm going to use YouTube again, right? Because YouTube was a divine download that I had that I presented to my husband like 18 months, 2 years ago. And I was like, I think we got to be on YouTube. That was specifically for Entrepreneur Expat, which is the relocation business. I was like, I think YouTube is the thing. And I was right. And then I had the intuition to start this channel, number one, because I feel like it's a part of my life purpose to teach these things. Number two, it's also a way for me to like really give back. And then number three, I knew that it was a way to create passive income as well, because now I understand how all these tools and structures really work well together, and I know how to combine that with the feminine flow and the magnetism. So, use the strategy, have the goals, be open to the divine downloads. Even last week, I went to bed and I was having like an issue that I was trying to figure out in this particular business and this particular YouTube channel. I went to bed and I asked my guides or the universe or whatever you call it for help. And I woke up in the middle of the night with the answer, right? So leave room for those types of things. Because they can really help you, right? And leave room for rest as well. And, it may not seem like it, but when you put the structure and the discipline and the systems in place, it not only allows more room for the creativity to shine, it also allows more room for rest so you can get those divine downloads and those ideas. You also want to tune in sometimes, like what feels good, what wants to come through me today. And again, right, you need to have some sort of a plan to follow, but leave a little bit of flexibility for some of this, because those of you who go overdrive in the masculine, you have every minute of your day planned out and there's no room for space for you to get really good ideas. And then finally, and this goes into what I was just saying, all right, the next thing you want to do, and this goes into what I was just saying, is you want to build in spaciousness, right? So like I just said, some of you are so overscheduled, you don't even have time to think. And part of what you have to do is schedule in time to think so that you know what that next step is going to be. Because when you have more white space on your calendar, which again, the structures give you that white space, you're going to have a lot more creativity and insight, right? The first time I announced the YouTube Mastery Workshop, was it last year? At the end of last year, I announced it on my Facebook because I heard it in a meditation, like, hey, do a workshop teaching people on your Facebook, because most of them are business owners, on how YouTube is working and how you guys used it on the Entrepreneur Expat channel to grow it really quickly and generate all these leads and sales. I did one post about it based on that meditation and immediately had to go make a sales page because people wanted to throw money at me when they wanted to teach it. And since then, we've had quite a few people go through it. We've had people start generating 40,000 views on a YouTube channel in a few weeks. We've had people get a 30% increase month over month on their YouTube channel. And more importantly, they're getting more sales because they learned how to use YouTube. So once again, YouTube Mastery Workshop. .com, and I'm going to keep beating that dead horse on this channel because I'm telling you, it is my favorite because it hits all of these points that I'm talking about on this video. And then finally, this is something my husband and I have a habit of doing every single night, is we celebrate and we receive before we push forward. We actually do this every night. We have an exercise called Wins and Gratitude. So every single day we're going to go through, hey, what were our wins that day, right? And it could be personal or it could be business, the wins. So we're like, what are the wins today? And then what are we grateful for this day? We do it every single night, and we've been doing it every single night almost since we've known each other. And that's one of the reasons why we've been able to manifest at the rate that we have. And it also helps to regulate our nervous system. So those are some of the ways in which you can balance that masculine structure with the feminine flow to create more money in your life. It's really fun once you get into this space and you really get it. And again, my favorite tool for that is YouTube to make that happen. YouTubemasteryworkshop.com. You can grab it below. And then if you want to go more into like feminine energy habits or manifesting money or any of that, you can find all of that below as well. It's basically choose your own adventure here, but with this particular video, probably the one that makes the most sense is the YouTube Mastery Workshop, because you're going to see how I combine these two elements on YouTube to have created 2 YouTube channels, one which brought in 6 figures in revenue in 90 days for our relocation business, and this YouTube channel which is bringing in passive income into this household. And all I got to do is make a video that's very useful for you guys, and in that workshop I break down exactly what I'm doing. Thank you so much for giving me your time today, and I'll catch you on the next one.